Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Oluwole Adebanjo, and I actually saw this constitution presented by Sheyi Awoga that was posted on the WhatsApp group. Very wonderful piece. And I was just thinking that we are not really having a good discussion about it. I thought perhaps if I just do a video analysis of the content, perhaps that might prompt us to start discussing it in detail and take ownership of it after. So that is why I'm actually going to do this analysis based on my own perspective of the content of the Constitution. Up or right. Let's go ahead and do the analysis. Thank you very much. Yes, the first thing that actually came to my mind when I saw this was the fact that we said it is in 1999 setting. Now, I'm not sure whether every individual in this WhatsApp group are all the 1999 set. Perhaps we might want to talk about that. Should we include other sets, or should it just be limited to 1999 sets? We already know that it's not only an accounting thing. Every department is involved. But the question is, should it only be 1999 sets? And I think that is something we need to look into. Yeah, the next thing we have here is the name of the group. It's actually Olabisi Onabanjo University. Well, we need to discuss this 1999 set group. If that is okay, that's fine with me. I think it's okay. Now, what are the objectives of the association? Objectives. Yeah. Objective here is number one, to build and nurture lifelong relationships among former colleagues. Yeah. Very important. To serve and promote core values, excellence, professionalism, integrity, commitment, ethics, and transparency. C, to serve as a platform for sharing experience, comparing notes of life during and after employment. This includes healthy living, successful living, pre and post retirement. That is very fantastic. DA says to advance the interest and influence reputation of members. It says to serve as a bridge and foster a meaningful and ongoing relationship that could be beneficial to members, to work for the improvement of the facility available at our alma maters and the establishment of greater opportunities necessary to enable it maintain its position in Nigeria premier institution for technological and commercial training. Very fantastic. G says to organize seminars, conferences, lectures, symposium, exhibition, and other display aimed at promoting understanding between the universities and former students on the one hand and the public at large on the other hand. Okay. H says to cooperate with the government and its agency in ensuring the formulation of sound policies on technical and commercial education and their successful implementation. And finally, do such things that may be considered necessary for achieving all or any of the purposes set above. Now, what we should be looking at, to me, from my point of view here, is what other objectives should we add? Or perhaps maybe some of the objectives are not necessary, so that we can just remove them. Yeah. So these are what we should be discussing about the objectives. Perhaps you might have some additional objective that you think we should add to this. Yeah. So let's look at that. Now, Article 3 is talking about the membership of the association. And I've just picked some few things. Yeah. Definitely, it should be open to all. Well, we need to talk about the 1999 issue only, or maybe to the general, to other years. Yeah. And we have to pay subscription, yearly subscription, or as we determine, this will be determined later by our ESCOs that will be probably voted in future. Yeah. So I think this is all right. If you have any addition to that, so that is something we need to discuss. Yeah, the Article 4 and 5, Board of Trustee and Executive Committee. To me personally, I think this is a fundamental one that we really need to trash out and get right from the beginning. Who are going to be the Board of Trustees? Yeah, definitely the executive will be voted in. But this Board of Trustees, I have some reservations about having Board of Trustees. So to me, from my own picture of things, I think these are kind of permanent people who are going to be there even when executives are leaving and going. So the Board of Trustees will be kind of people that will be the foundational member. So I think the presence of this kind of people might, usually there could be clashes and interference between the executive committee. That's my opinion. I stand to be corrected. And this kind of people ends up having some significant influence on the association, which to me, after time, could get boring, That's my own feeling. I think we should, the first executive, once the first executive are voted in, I think they should have the absolute power. Yeah, maybe the executive will be existing for 2 years before we vote another. That is, we have to vote people in, and if we get it wrong, then we just have to wait for 2 years for them to, or a year, whatever length of time we allow them to take over things, and wait for them for that 2 years to finish their terms and then vote in another person if we don't like them. Definitely, we're going to have the constitution to regulate their terms of to regulate their behavior, and if some of them do things that is not necessary, that warrants being removed from office, they could be removed. But having two bodies like Board of Trustee and Executive Committee, to me, I think could cause a lot of friction. I think we should limit it to just Executive Committee to be in charge. They take their time. If they are good, they can be voted in the second, third time as long as they want to, if they are really doing well. But having two bodies, Board of Trustee and Executive Committee, at the end of the day, from my experience, I think there could be issues, and we want changes every time. So when we have this Board of Trustee, we will end up just having the same kind of thing. I think we should look into that. I don't know. That's to me a fundamental thing. Just let the Executive Committee do their thing for their term, and then other people take over later. That's my point of view. You are free to discuss this. Now, the next thing I have here is the officers that will constitute the Executive Committee. So we're thinking of a chairman, a vice chairman, with all their functions, general secretary, assistant general secretary, financial secretary, treasurers, publicity secretary, assistant publicity secretary, social secretary, welfare secretary, ex-official members, and yeah, that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 representatives. What are there? Is it too much, or do we need to add more? These are the things we need to discuss. Yeah. So, or do you think there's a particular office that still needs to be added? Yeah. So let's talk about this. Now, the next thing I have here is the tenure of the office of the executive committee. Yeah, the ESCOs. There's a 2-year suggestion here, which I think is fair enough. 2 years is good, yeah. And the members may be re-elected for a maximum second term in that particular office, yeah. The chairman cannot run for another office after 2 consecutive terms. Well, that to me, that's fine by me, but I really don't see any reason why, if somebody is good, cannot continue to go on and on, you know. But if we say 2 years, that's fine. 2 consecutive terms, that is absolutely okay. Yeah, to give a lot of other people the chance. But I think that is why we are voting every time. If people want you, why not continue? If people vote you in, why not continue? We expect a free and fair voting where people can always make a suggestion of who they like. So if they keep voting you in, that means you are doing something good. Yeah, that's only what I think personally. But if we love this 2 consecutive terms, then that is absolutely fine. Now, looking at the finance aspect of things, yeah, we're talking about the powers of the executive. They can raise funds within the association, perfect. Power to initiate and invest in revenue yielding program. I think we need to really talk more about this. They can initiate investment. Are we aiming to make, are we a profit-making organization? Are we trying to invest? See, I think we should really understand what we are doing on that. Yeah. Secretaries are keeping pressed account, that's okay. Talking about the banking, signatories, this look perfect to me. Yeah. And financial year being October to September, I have no issues with that, but I think it's always just good to be January to December, you know, after Christmas. I don't know, there's nothing, no difference, yeah. And G, the board of trustee, more than 3 members. The board of trustees shall appoint not more than 3-member audit committee to review the financial report and present a report at the annual general meeting. Yeah, that is fine. Audit committee. I think we should still discuss this board of trustee issue and yeah. I also think, to me, well, I think the best way is to be transparent. I've actually suggested on the WhatsApp the posting of the bank account statement monthly. See, let everybody see. Let's be transparent. I think that is the best thing. That will be what I will really be. Once we do that, there will be no need for there might be really no need for audit committee. But if that's what we want, that's what we will do. You know, we can always try new good things, yeah, and see how it works. We can always change later if we see that it's not working. You know, that's the good thing about all this thing. But let's discuss it. Yeah, this is about meetings, yeah, and how we should go about our annual general meetings. Yeah, so this is what forms a quorum, and all the decision, how we go about the decision, we need to go through it. If you have any issues with it, I think they are all perfectly okay. Yeah. Now, another thing is the election of officers and removing. Election of officers, removal, and by-elections. Yeah. So, election of officers shall take place at annual general meetings. The General House shall appoint an electoral committee to constitute such election, which shall be by simple majority. Very simple. We just leave that to the electoral committee to come out with their guidelines and then whatever they think should constitute an election. That is, to me, is perfectly okay. And committees. Executive committee meetings shall have power to set up and dissolve when necessary other committee for assisting to examine various matters that might be identified by the association. Such committee shall however report to the executive committee. Exception to this is the audit committee as approved by the board of trustees. Okay, that to me is okay. It's nothing, to me is perfect. If you have anything to contribute to that, that should also be discussed. Please, let's discuss this thing. Yeah, I think that is the most important thing. And I have issues on disciplinary. Powers to discipline any member of the association is vested in the executive committee. Yeah. However, the executive committee shall, through the disciplinary committee, investigate the issue. So all about investigation. I really think we are mature group. There might, well, maybe one or two reasons might come that we might need to use this, but it's good that they are in place. So a disciplinary committee looking into behaviors, this is normal, in any association. I think that's good. It's a good measure that is put in place. So let's look at it, read through it, and discuss what we think it's okay, what can be added to it. Yeah. Amend to constitution. Amend to constitution shall be proposed and circulated to members along with the notice of general meeting. No amendment shall be rectified except by 2/3 majority of voting members at a properly constituted general meeting. So by the time we read this, we know what constitutes a general meeting, and we have to come up with what number will be the 2/3. That to me is also perfectly okay. And with that, I actually just concluded my analysis of this constitution that was actually presented to us by Seyi Awoga. We should really thank him for this. This is actually going to give us a good foundation to work on. Once we discuss it, we end up adopting it and we start running. As we go, if we see necessary amendments, we do it and we start flowing. Yeah. I wish you the best today, and I just hope that you start talking about this. Thank you very much. Bye.